What a game. The games this weekend. My God. You know, this has been introduced with like a Steph Curry throw it incomplete to Devontae Adams. Wow. I mean, that's all I can say is wow. What is going on, guys? Back for the Love of Sports podcast. And today we're going to be talking about Anthony Davis and how the Lakers are supposed to fill his void. Today, losing to the Miami Heat 96-94 in a very, very close game. And on the Lakers, man, I think they're in big trouble because who is going to be that next guy besides LeBron James filling in for Anthony Davis, who's out minimum, it seems to be a month. And I think he's going to be out further than that because this doesn't look good for Anthony Davis. Realistically, they're saying it's a calf injury right now. Every single time I watch the video of him getting injured, it's his Achilles. And I don't know why these guys keep calling it a calf. They did the same exact thing with Kevin Durant. You know, if you guys remember that, when he was on the Golden State Warriors, when he tore his Achilles in the NBA Finals against the Raptors, everyone knew going into that. Remember, he got injured in the first, it was the first round of the playoffs, was out for 2 rounds, came back in the NBA Finals and ruptured his Achilles. But everyone leading up to that was saying it was his calf that was injured, which it clearly wasn't. He ended up tearing his Achilles. And this, the thing is with Davis, it looks so similar. It's almost exactly the same. When I saw Davis get hurt the other day, he made that quick move on, Nikola Jokic, and he was holding his Achilles. He wasn't holding his calf. So that's very scary to me. And, this is just another showing that, they're not going to be able to proceed without Anthony Davis in a playoff series. They're not ever going to be making – I don't even know if they'll make it out of round 1 without Davis because realistically, LeBron James is great. He's 36 years old, and they need another player of anywhere close to Anthony Davis caliber. I mean, they have Montrezl Harrell, they have Dennis Schroeder, they have Kyle Kuzma. They're decent players. They're not going to win you a playoff series, and teams like the Clippers, the Utah Jazz standing ahead of them now, and I think it's going to be an uphill battle for the Lakers. Without Davis, their second best option, one of the best players in the league, a top 10 player easily. Today's game, it was LeBron James, 19-9, I believe. They lost. They lost to the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat didn't have Goran Dragic and they didn't have Tyler Harrell for the second half of that game after he went out with a hip injury. They lost to that team. And, the last few games, they've barely won. It's been like overtime to beat teams without Anthony Davis. And like I said, the Davis injury just looks so non-promising. I think he's going to be out for the season. I really do. And I don't want him to be out for the season. I don't wish bad on the guy, but it just looks so similar, like I said, to Kevin Durant's injury that happened. And I don't know how you come back from that because realistically, when he comes back, so let's just say he sits out a month. That's what they're expected to do, sit him out a month. What if it is his Achilles? We've seen Durant do the same thing, sat out 3 weeks, came back literally the first game and tore his Achilles. So, I don't know, man. This is one of the worst injuries, in my opinion, to get because you really don't know. It's not like it's a ACL. You can have, you can do MRIs leading up to it. Like, they don't even know what the hell's wrong with Anthony Davis, it seems. It just seems like they're labeling it a mid-calf strain, but every single time I watch it, it's his Achilles. So, this is just me, me saying what I think is the best thing for the Lakers. I think the Lakers need to go out and try to get another player. I know they've already mortgaged so much of their future by trading guys, trying to acquire Anthony Davis, trading a lot of picks, but if they're going to proceed without Anthony Davis for an extended period of time, I think before this trade deadline, the Lakers have to go out and get at least another decent caliber scorer to help LeBron James because Schroeder's decent. He's averaging 14 points a game. It's manageable, but 14 points a game has to turn into 20 points a game without Anthony Davis. Montrezl Harrell, I think, needs to elevate his play. Kyle Kuzma is a decent player at best. I thought Kuzma was going to be a lot better. Kyle Kuzma is one of those guys that's hot for 2 games, and then you don't even hear from him for another 3. So I think it's, the Lakers are in deep shit, man. And I think without the help of Anthony Davis, it's only a matter of time before they lose. Because in a playoff series, it's going to be impossible for them to defend guys like Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. Not only defend them, but keep up scoring with them. They need Anthony Davis. They need that 7-foot presence who's a defensive player of the year, who's, an unbelievable scorer, rebounder. He's just a huge presence when he's on the court, and without him, it's LeBron James. This reminds me very similar to how LeBron James was in Cleveland his last couple of years there. I mean, they had Kevin Love, who's very similar to Montrezl Harrell at this point, no better than him, in my opinion. And, they have Schroeder, who's pretty good. But other than that, Kuzma is just as good as, some of those other Cavalier players they had on those teams. So They need to either go out and get a guy. I just don't see Davis coming back anytime soon. And even if he does, I'd be very skeptical of rushing him back because, like I said, that Achilles is no joke, man. That's one move away from popping that thing out and being out for the season and probably out for next season if he ends up being out. So we'll see what happens with Lakers, guys. I just want to see you guys' opinions on this. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time, guys.